I want to welcome y'all to this episode of the podcast, The Social Worker Coach. Of course, it's on Spotify, but wherever you listen to your podcast at, make sure that you, of course, subscribe to my podcast and, of course, on YouTube because I'm recording this as well. My YouTube channel is my name, Tonetta Clay, and you'll, of course, see that information on the podcast. You'll see that in the description so that you can get your butt on over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel there too, so that you can see me on video and see the funny faces and all that type of stuff. The cute little earrings and jewelry I got on, 2 hairstyles. My hair ain't looking all that interesting today, but that's all right. But like I said, definitely get on over there so you can see me on video as well. And I definitely want to hear from you, of course. Like I said, definitely when you come over, let me know where you're tuning in from. And of course, like I said, let me know how you're doing, how this New Year is treating you. I guess I put it that way. Your girl, of course, I'm on several platforms. But of course, I was asked about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where have I been? I guess I put it that way. My live videos, I was doing live videos like every day or at least a few times a week about different things, whether it's in encouragement, inspiration, motivation, or just talking about what's going on in my world. I guess I put it that way, and just life in general. So like I told those particular people that of course I'll get back to doing my live videos and stuff like that. And this is actually my first live of 2024. So y'all can be blessed that y'all have this. I guess I put it that way because they don't have it, I guess, until they see it. So like I said, you're definitely blessed for that. But like I said, definitely, there's been a lot going on in my neck of the woods. I guess I put it that way. If you're if you're listening regularly to my podcast, I did do a daily vlog probably about a month and a half ago about the situations that was going on within our household with our teen daughter at this time. And like I said, it's been a lot. It's been a journey. It's still going on in the middle of chaos. I put it that way. So I've been trying to figure out how to, of course, maintain my inner peace as much as possible because I know when it comes to people that I care about and who I love and who I know have potential to do better, and they're doing the total opposite. Like I said, I mean, not just me. I'm not even the biological mother. I'm I guess you can say, stepmom. But like I said, me and my partner is his daughter. But of course, like I said, we both know that she has the potential. But the potential is all about fun and hanging out, sneaking out, doing all those types of things that we would have, I can say in some words, never thought would have got to this point. I guess I put it that way. But like I said, it's definitely a difficult situation to deal with, especially when the school systems and, of course, the laws tell you that you can't do certain things with your kids if you don't want them in your household and all these types of things. Like I said, sometimes it gets to that point you have to ask people to leave or that kind of thing. And I know, like I said, with laws and different things, that's not always possible. So, of course, trying to figure out how to deal with this situation with her and then, of course, trying to figure out how we can both, of course, maintain our inner peace as much as possible because it's just chaos. And I've lived in chaos every day, well, mostly every day, growing up in that kind of thing, seeing domestic violence, parents on drugs, all types of stuff going on, all kind of folks at the house, all types of stuff going on. And like I said, definitely, I know how chaos feels. I have PTSD behind all this chaos. I guess I put it that way. And of course, when you're in situations like this, of course, those types of things can be triggered, which it definitely was for me. I ended up shutting down as well. I can't say as well, but I ended up shutting down because I know this situation has gotten too far out of hand. And sometimes we have those young people who just don't care, regardless as to what you have instilled in them, regardless as to whether you let them go see their friends or not. We do all those types of things. For some reason, it's not enough. I guess I put it that way. You can have therapy, have all these things in place. If the person's not willing to talk to anyone, I guess, about their issues or problems, it's very hard to, of course, to move forward with anything. And yes, the person can talk. I mean, I put it that way. Yes, any teen can talk. Well, unless they have an issue, a medical issue or something like that, well, of course, most teens can talk. I guess I put it that way. But like I said, definitely it's more of talking to the friends and you hear all the situations, all the stuff going on. But when it comes time for them to take responsibility for their own actions, what they're doing is always everybody else's fault. And then they shut down and say nothing else for the rest of the conversation. So like I said, it's definitely very hard to live with somebody like that. I guess I put it that way. I don't care what the damn age is. But like I said, definitely is something that we're going through and trying to figure out how to deal with this because at some point you get tired. That's with anybody. I don't care what's going on, whatever kind of relationship you have. At some point, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Then what do you do? And unfortunately, like I said, I don't know how this situation is going to turn out, but at this point in time, like I said, it's just a bunch of chaos all day long, every day, sneaking out, all this stuff going on. Like I said, nobody can live like that safely in their house when they have no idea the window's open. Anybody can come up in here. We have homeless folks back here in the back. I'm sure she hadn't thought about them folks looking at her sneaking out the damn window every day and leaving this window open. They can come up here and kill all of us. Like I said, those are things that we have to think about being the adult here. And then sneaking people in this house as well. Like I said, those things are safety for all of us. I guess I put it that way. When you don't even know who these people are, you're sneaking up in here. I guess I put it that way. They're not friends because you just met them. Like I said, that's something that we know as adults, and I'm sure she knows that as well. But like I said, some people just don't care. And like I said, that's just the situations that the situation, the main situation that we're dealing with. And like I said, just trying to figure out how to navigate this situation before it just the end all be all. And he's at that point actually. And like I said, definitely it's just been a hard situation to deal with. Not just because I'm, of course, triggered or PTSD, that kind of thing. I'm sure he has too, because he's been in a similar situation growing up that I was in as well. So, I mean, a lot of people have, I guess I put it, well, I can't say a lot of people. There are some people who have chaos and trauma and drama growing up. And, of course, you can heal all you want and say you've healed all these things and all the triggers. But, of course, let some other situations similar happen. It's going to re-traumatize you, I guess I put it that way, in some type of way. Nobody's perfect and nobody's never going to be touched again by anything, and no emotion set off, and you don't care about this and that. Nothing's going to bother you. Let something else happen that's similar to how you grew up, and it will trigger you at some point. And you may end up shutting down. You may end up getting upset, hollering, yelling, hit somebody, whatever the case may be. People react to their trauma and PTSD in different ways. I guess I put it that way. You just have to know whatever it is for you to make sure that you don't be in the room or that kind of thing when things are going on. I put it that way. That's what I've had to do as well. And like I said, I know that having all these situations, I know that, of course, some parents, of course, people, society want to say the parent are bad parents, they were too strict, or they were too this, or they were too lenient, all these types of things. You wouldn't know what nobody's going through until you get in their household. You can be as lenient or as strict as you want. That does not mean that your child will not go and do what the hell they want. They want to have fun, want to do all these things and party and smoke weed and drink all the time. This at 16, 17 years old, a lot of that personality has already developed from other things in the past. And you can see those types, which I can see those types of behaviors. He can as well. And you know that when somebody's, whether it's this situation or not, but of course, like I said, I have personal experience and professional experience in dealing with young ladies like this, and teens, families, that kind of thing, going through this situation as well. And it's a hard situation to go through, especially when you're at your wit's end. And especially when you know that the person that you're caring for, the child that you're caring for, has the potential to do all types of things, but they're not willing to do that at the present time. And sometimes it takes people 10, 15, 20 years in order to get themselves together to realize where they messed up at, what they should have done differently. I guess I put it that way. I know many adults my age and older who have regrets like that all the time. And I hear stuff like that a lot too. Being a social worker, I hear stuff like that all the time, and have heard it in the past over these last two and a half decades of professional working, and like I said, in my personal life as well. I've known people who I should have listened, I should have did this, now I'm hooked on these drugs, or now I'm out here homeless, or now I'm living house to house, or now I got this man that's abusing my ass, now I can't get out of this. Now what? I should have listened back then. That's a life you chose to live. That's usually how that goes. That's a life that you choose to live. And yes, I know people say that when it comes to teenagers, their minds aren't developed and they have all these. Trust me, their minds are very developed. Yes, while they may have hormones and all that kind of stuff going, everybody has hormones going through their body that cause them to do all types of things. Trust me on that. You can ask any doctor that. But at some point, a 2-year-old knows right from wrong. You can ask a 2-year-old whether they're going to steal this or you want to steal that. They'll tell you, no, I won't do that. They know right from wrong. Or at least most of them, to my knowledge, I work with, knew right from wrong, to put it that way. A kindergartner, a grade first, what is it called? Grade schooler knows right from wrong. Now, whether they choose to do the right thing, it just depends on the person. It depends on what kind of personality and character they have. I've seen little kids young, I guess I ain't gonna say little, but young kids, teenagers, stuff like that, preteens. You can tell the ones who are who have better character, and who actually cares about the consequences of their actions, and you can tell the ones that don't, because they keep doing the same thing over and over again, and that definitely goes into adulthood as well. So I don't look at that it being an excuse that they have hormones. We all have hormones shooting through our bodies all times. If that's the case, people who are going through menopause, well, I guess once I get older enough to go through menopause, or men going through the similar kind of thing, they have hormones, so they can just do crazy stuff all the time. Some do actually. It's still not an excuse. You still know right from wrong, and you still know whatever you're doing is affecting all the folks around you. So, like I said, it's definitely not an excuse. And like I said, there are just some people who, kids included, who just don't care. And I just made a post about this on my Facebook and Instagram probably about an hour ago. But there's some folks who just don't care, especially when it comes to the teenagers, young adults on up to adulthood. There are just some folks that just don't care. Just like the person who, male or female, who goes to keep cheating on their partner all the time because they think it's something cute to do. And I can't control myself and all this kind of stuff. You can control anything that you want. You just choose not to, because of whatever benefit you get out of it. I guess I put it that way as well. And then there's no consequences because there is everybody else's fault behind all this. But like I said, at some point people get tired. And I know, of course, teenagers understand that as well. At some point people get tired. Young adults understand that as well. At some point people get tired. So does adults understand that. That at some point people get tired and you can burn your bridges with people. People don't want, when they get to a certain point in their life, unless they're full of chaos and drama and gossip all the time themselves, they'll easily fit into this situation. But if you've been trying to, of course, be as peaceful as you can and live the life of this trauma and drama growing up and all that kind of stuff, you don't want all that in your adulthood. And you shouldn't have to deal with it either. But like I said, there's some people who just don't care and just don't care what their behavior, what the consequences are for themselves or the people that whoever's taking care of them are dealing with them. Like I said, it's just definitely sad because, like I said, I know that people have potential. I see it in everybody. I don't care what you are. I see it in everybody. But like I said, there are some who just choose to not use their potential for the best. I guess I put it that way. And yes, I'm talking about those who are at least 16, 15, 16 years of age older. Actually, still probably 14, actually. They know right from wrong, and they know that behavior can affect anything that they do, whether it's schoolwork, they don't do the schoolwork, they get an F. They know there's consequences for not doing what they're supposed to do. They just choose not to do it. The same thing with the young adult or an adult. Yes, it's fun to have fun and do all those types of things, but at some point that fun is going to wear out, and you're going to be mad because you messed up your life. Then it's going to be everybody else says, oh, my parents didn't do this, or oh, my grandmother didn't love me, and oh, my so-and-so. When you're blaming everybody else except yourself because of the things that you chose to do. I see many adults like that. Blame, like, I don't know the numbers, but I know a lot of adults that blame everybody else and not take responsibility for anything. But it's everybody else's fault why their life turned out the way that it is. When they don't, I guess, refuse to see that their behavior, their different actions, and all those types of things have created the life that they see today. Nobody told you to go use drugs unless they put it inside of a drink or something and you had no idea. Nobody told you to go drink unless you already had that in your mind that that's something that you want to try and do. People get hooked on stuff the first time that they actually use it. It just depends on the drug and what it is. You didn't know. I mean, well, some people, of course, like I said, definitely, it just depends on the person, though. But like I said, people can get hooked on stuff the first time that they use it. Maybe not marijuana the first time, but you want to keep wanting that craving over and over again. And when that craving is gone, marijuana is a gateway drug. I know people say, what in the world is a gateway drug? Or some younger folks may not know what a gateway drug is. But a gateway drug is a drug that once you're high, kind of, you have smoked it so much, I guess I put it that way. After a while, you won't have that same effect of getting high like you used to. And you want to try something harder because you want that same high that you had at first. It opens you up to a world of other drugs and things that you want to tamper with and experiment with. So that you can get a better high or a more longer high, I guess I put it that way. That's a gateway drug. And like I said, you can get hooked on something right away. You never know what folks are giving you to begin with. And like I said, those are choices that if If you were the one that was curious about drugs or alcohol or anything else, then you wouldn't use those things. I can attest to that because I was one of those people. I saw all of it in my environment, parents on drugs, different family friends on drugs, what it did to them. I saw all that growing up since I was like 1 year old. I can tell you how the damn drug smell before I even got in first grade. I know what cocaine looked like before they started smoking crack, of course. I knew what they looked like before I even got to first grade as well. And like I said, I chose to not go that route. That you make a choice whether you want to go that route, you want to live the party life, have fun, all those types of things, or you choose to not even want to experiment with those kind of things. I chose not to. Yes, I've had a drink here or there just to taste different things, but that's about as far as it goes. And like I said, there are some people who are just built to want to do those types of things. I can't say want to. I don't know if it's body chemistry. I'm not sure what it is. But like I said, for some people, it's more about the fun life and what they can do and have all the fun they want to have and use others and that kind of thing, which you can definitely have that life. But it won't get you far at all, except for living up under somebody else's household, not having anything on your own. And some people want that. Some folks are homeless because of that. But like I said, you can tell at different ages, 12, 13, 14 years old, how this child usually how the temperament is going to be with this child or with this particular person. You can tell if the person's a liar, a cheater, or want to go out here and sneaking things all the time. You can tell that's, and if it keeps going for years and years and years, and no matter what you all do to, of course, correct that action, and that person just keeps wanting to do that, you can tell that's how that person's going to end up. Majority of the time. At least that's what I've seen. And for those who, of course, are in my situation or didn't want to do the drugs or wanted to at least like get the grades in school and do well in school and want to go on to college, want to be a lawyer, doctor, have all these plans at a young age, majority of the time they go on and do those things. It may not be the way that they look, I guess, the way that they thought, because some may switch up majors, that kind of thing, which is understandable, have a different job or whatever the case is going to be, or start a business, that can be too. But like I said, people, if you have that kind of temperament already, it depends on how you're going to live the rest of your life. Yes, people change. We all know that. Somebody who was a liar, cheater, whatever else can definitely change if they want to. Like I said, we just know that there are some folks out there who don't want to change and don't want to do anything different, but live their party life and do what the heck they want to do, while they destroy everybody else around them and the relationships around them as well. Sometimes, well, I've seen it a lot, but it does happen. And like I said, you can tell, at least I can tell those people, probably because I've been a social worker for so long, but like I said, I can definitely tell those people. And I can tell the good people who have good character, who want to, of course, who are going to assume the responsibility because they know they messed up. I'm sorry, I did this. Some people are like that. I was like that as well. I will tell you what I did. And some folks I know are not going to tell you anything. That it's somebody else's fault. These people made them do this. These folks made me sneak them in my house. They talked me into it. Okay, that's peer pressure. I understand that. But it depends on what kind of mindset you have. I don't care what age you are. Like I said, 14 and up. 13 probably so, but 14 and up. It depends on what kind of mindset you have to see. I mean, it depends on what kind of mindset you have, which depends on how susceptible or how easily you are put in those situations, or you call yourself put in those situations. Some folks have a mindset that you're not gonna put me in any situation I don't want to be into, because that's not gonna be my life, and that's the mindset that I had. And some folks, of course, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that just to fit in. Yes, folks do that all the time. Even adults do that too. But we've got to understand that there's always consequences for all those actions. Back in the day when of course, like I said, I had traumas and like I just explained, all these things going on when I was growing up. As a young adult, of course, I had a bad temper. Used to say stuff to people, which yes, it may have been the right thing to say, but probably not in the way I said it. I put it that way. Now I know that some of the things I said was totally wrong too. I put it that way too. Like I said, I definitely take responsibility for the things I've said and done. But like I said, there are certain people who don't. And like I said, when you start doing stuff like that, even with my bad temper, I lost relationships that way. People don't want to deal with you anymore because you want to holler, curse, yell every time you get upset, or You want to tell them what they need to be doing and all this kind of stuff, run somebody else's life. We need to just run your own. Any type of bad behavior has consequences with the folks, family, friends, parents around you. And yes, those relationships can go away. You wonder why you hear adults talking about Jesus Christ, y'all, let me get some water. You wonder why you hear adults talking about how they haven't talked to their brother in 20 years or their mother in 50 years or however long it's been. How they lost their best friend years ago over something stupid. How they lost their relationship over cheating or doing something dumb. Because they wanted to. It's usually how that goes. People focus and do what they want. They have a mind to do what they want. If they didn't want to do it, they wouldn't have done it. Obviously, it's the benefits they get out of it. I guess I put it that way. Whether it's the good sex or I can tell this lie and get away with it. Nobody's going to try to chastise me and make me be responsible. I don't have to go out the front door. I can sneak out the window so nobody would know so I can get back before they wake up. People know that. You mess up those relationships with the ones who definitely love you, like I said, because of your bad behavior. Nobody wants to be around that, especially if they're not the ones who want to live a life like that. Granted, yes, we know that teens and young adults have different behaviors, different issues, but I'm talking about the continuous ones that keep going and getting worse for years, years, and years. Starting probably at age 11, 12 for some before that actually. Some kids lie at a young age as well, or still at a young age as well, before they even start first grade. I've seen that. And like I said, we have to realize that given all those things that people, you burn bridges with people. Everybody's not going to be so accepting to do things for you because you're their parent, or you're their child, or you're their grandchild, or you're their aunt or uncle, whoever you are, niece or nephew. Everybody's not going to be so happy and willingly, I guess, to team and do anything for you, especially if you have dogged them out, stole from them, you've let other people steal from them, you've snuck people in the house constantly. Nobody's going to keep putting up with that kind of behavior. You want to shut down, not even tell what's going on, but why you keep doing these things. You don't even want to talk to not even us, not even the parents, not even whoever it is, or not even the therapist. You just sit there and waste everybody's time for hours and saying nothing. That's not fair to the people who are trying to, like I said, be in your life. I guess I put it that way. The therapists, they're trying to do their job. They can't do their job because ain't no communication at all. Like I said, at some point, people get tired. And nobody's going to have your back. I don't care what the hell happens to you. We'll pray for you. People will pray for you and love you from a distance. Anybody can do that. But like I said, in life, you'd rather have those folks who actually love you to, of course, be in your corner. I guess I put it that way. And granted, some family don't care either. I don't know, but whatever your situation is, but there is somebody, I'm sure, in your family who you're close to who actually loves you and who would have done anything for you. But if you burn all those bridges, that's all over with. At least from what I've seen, professionally and personally. And like I said, we have to understand that, yes, life will happen to all of us. We all make mistakes, and that's a given. But consistently making mistakes for years, doing the same thing over and over again, is getting worse and getting worse. Something is wrong with that picture. And if the person's not willing to, of course, to get the help, to get the therapy, or to have the community, or have the conversations, or get the coaching, whatever it is, or at least try to do right, or try to figure out what they can to do right, even after y'all have discussed it and all these types of things, at some point there becomes no point. And you just be done with the situation. However they turn out, that's how they turn out. Like I said, we all want our kids and our loved ones and whoever we deal with to live to their fullest potential and to be the best that they can be. But like I said, we can all want that, but we have got to know that they may not want that. And that's okay. Like I said, I've gotten to a point where I'm still not okay with that, but like I said, I'm not 100%. I'm probably about 75% because I still have the inkling in my heart. I'm like, okay, I need to see them do well. I know they got it in them. But I know deep down that if they don't want it, I can't want it more than what they want. I can't want it more than them. I can't want them to, of course, complete high school more than them because they're not even doing the work. I cannot want them to have a better marriage if they don't want it. They have to want it first. I don't care what age they are. Like I said, the teenagers and up. I don't care what age you are. If they don't want it, it's not going to be done no matter what your idea life of them should be. I guess I put it that way. Nobody wants to see a family member get hooked on drugs. I've seen all that. Nobody wants to see people going to jail in their family or close loved ones. I've seen that too several times, or being shot and killed several times. You don't want to see all those things when you know that they have a better life on the other side of all the crazy things that they're out on the street doing. But like I said, they have to want that too. I can want that all day, you can want that all day, but they have to want that too. And like I said, that is very hurtful. You're probably going to cry. I know I've cried. He's cried as well. Whoever's in that person's life is going to probably, like I said, cry and be upset about it and don't know what to do and did we do something wrong and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes folks just don't care. And all they care about is them having fun and doing whatever it is with their friends. That's all some folks care about. But they'll care about it once they drop to their rock bottom. Then they'll start caring about how they fucked up with everybody. How their relationships have ended. They have nobody in their corner anymore who actually would have been there for them. Because all the friends that they had were not friends at all. They were just people who were using them and getting them to do more bad things. I guess I put it that way. Because that's the folks that they chose to be around. We all have choices. We all have decisions. We all have choices. We all have decisions. I don't care what you're doing. Good or bad. We all have choices and we all have decisions. You can choose to do something better with your life, but instead, of course, you're choosing to do the opposite. And that is, of course, fine. Like I said, you want to see your family and friends do well. If they don't want to see it, doesn't make a difference what you think. You can say you love them, do all these things. Yes, that's fine and dandy, but they are still the ones who have to do the work. It's not you. Even though I know some are codependent, I know that, who will go to the school and get the homework and do all this stuff and make them sit down. You can't want it more than that, I guess, than they want it. If they don't want it, leave them alone. You can try first few times, but that's about it. Otherwise, they're going to do what they want to do because it's their life. And they feel that the way that they're leading their life is the right way to live it. I know people like that. I've known many people like that, younger than me and older, who regret now all the things that they've messed up with all they have to go back now and try to get a high school diploma and try to figure out how they're going to get a job and do all these things when they could have did that growing up as a teenager or a young adult. But you want to party. Like I said, at some point, that party ends and you figure out that you can't live your life because you ain't got no other place to go. Nobody's going to put up with somebody who just party. I don't care if it's your family, your friends, or whoever you think is your friends. You can't just live somewhere for free all the time. If you can live somewhere for free, that means that somebody's using the hell out of you, prostituting you, feeding you drugs, whatever they're doing, making you watch their kids, clean their house, whatever it is. You have to pay for your stay somewhere. Most people want you to, of course, work and do something, not just sit on your ass all day and do nothing while you're in their house. I don't care who parents or not. Even your friends, I'm sure, will get to that point. Well, the so-called friends, I guess I put it that way. That's something that people, like I said, at some point people realize that. Some do and actually some don't, but majority of the people realize that. And like I said, realize how they have messed up their lives to this particular point. Yes, they may have learned a whole lot of lessons along the way, and of course that's their testimony and that kind of thing. I understand that, but when it comes to certain things, you don't even have to go that route. Especially when it comes to the illegal stuff, drugs, alcohol, stealing, all that kind of stuff. You don't even have to go that route. Why would you want to end yourself up in jail for years for something you could have actually paid for with cash? Or debit card, credit, whatever it was. Why would you want to get hooked on something and think it's the coolest thing to do and hang with these friends and all these people when you're going to lose a lot of years of your life because you're hooked on drugs and possibly die from it? I've seen, my dad had an overdose on heroin actually. So I've seen my partner's dad as well. I've seen all these things happen. I'm sure some of y'all have seen these things happen as well. But what I know is that those people, whoever it is, they have to decide in their minds that they're going to do the right thing and try to create a life for themselves the best way that they can. And you cannot want it more than they want it. So y'all, I know I've been talking forever, but like I said, I definitely had to get this out because this is the way that I, of course, get things out. This is the way that I heal in certain ways. I guess I put it that way as well. And this is the way that I take my lessons and try to teach somebody else the things that I've learned, I guess I put it that way, so that they can either live their life different, create a different mindset, create a different outlook, or create their own success for themselves. Because some people don't have folks to tell them this. And like I said, I'm on all over social media and talking like this all the time. Excuse me, because I know how important it is to have a life that you can be proud of and not have regrets with. I wish I would have got that job back when I was young. I wish I'd have got that high school diploma and I have nothing to fall back on. Ain't nobody gonna hire me, all those types of things. I've seen that for adults. Don't have a high school diploma, don't have any work experience, they live their life just going on and on and on, partying, doing all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's not too late for anybody. You can always go back to school. I put it that way. You can always get your life together. But at certain points in life, you missed a lot. And it's going to be a little bit harder for you to get going and stay with it again. It can definitely be done because I've seen it. But for some, it definitely takes a toll, and it definitely is harder to do when you're a lot hell older than when you're younger trying to get your life started to start it then, not when you're 60 years old. Yes, you can do that. That is fine. But like I said, I have seen it done. I had an 80 years old? I had an 80-year-old woman in my history, I think it's my history, either English or history class back when I was in college getting my bachelor's. And I had to go over and talk to her because I'm like, she was the oldest one in the class. I'm like, what is going on now? But she said she had always promised herself that she was going to get her bachelor's degree. She had to raise kids, take care of her husband, missed out on life and all this kind of stuff. Now at 80, she was getting her her bachelor's degree. She said that was something she promised herself and had regrets about, but she went back to school and did it anyway. It can be done at any age. But like I said, why not do it when you're in your prime time and try to live your life the best that you can live it? So that you wouldn't have to go backwards and try to fix all this stuff again. That makes more sense, at least to me it does, but I know some people don't care about that. You can only care as much as they care. You can outlive somebody else's life for them. I'm going to keep saying that because I'm sure somebody else besides me needs to hear that. And I know good and well you can outlive somebody's life for them. I tried back in the past, relationships and all kind of stuff. Trust me, I have tried to get the relationship together, to try to do all this kind of stuff to keep these people, and that does not work. If they don't want it, you can't have it either. That's usually how that goes, unfortunately. I don't care if it's your kids, I don't care if it's with your family, with your friends, with your school, with your job, whoever it is. If they don't want it, you're not going to have it. You're not going to have it either. You can't force somebody to do something that they don't want to do, that they don't see any value in. I guess I put it that way. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, y'all. Like I said, I definitely want to bring this message on this podcast today. Because like I said, I know there's other folks out there who need this message. This is going to set somebody free, I'm sure. So make sure that y'all share this message out. Like I said, to your social medias, to your family, your friends, to people that you know need to hear this. Because I know I'm not the only one that needs to hear this. Whether it's about kids you're around, family, whoever it is, somebody else needs to hear this. So share this message out with them. And let me know in the comments if you've ever had to deal with something like this. I definitely want to know. Like I said, we all go through different situations and different things. And I know that we see potential in everybody. But if they don't want it, we can't want it as more than them. They have to want it too. We can't live anybody's life for them, regardless as to what kind of potential they have. So with that, y'all, again, I'm Tonetta Clay, your social worker coach. I want to say again, make sure that y'all subscribe to my podcast, The Social Worker Coach, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at. Mine better be on that list. And also make sure that y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, so that y'all can get all my updates and uploads that I do throughout the week. So like I said, y'all will see the information for, like I said, for YouTube, you will see the information in the description to connect with my podcast, social medias, some awesome journals I got, because I know journaling, of course, will help you get through some of these triggers and help you with your PTSD if you have PTSD, or just help you when you're triggered as well. I know it will, because I journal a lot. I got about 7, 8. I got one down on the floor that I'm looking at right now. It helps. If you can't afford a therapist, let that journal be your therapist. Burn it after you finish writing in it. If you want to do that, that's up to you. That is definitely a choice you can have and make. But you got to get these things out, because if not, they're going to kill you on the inside, y'all. when it comes to all this stuff is dealing with grief in some type of way, losing someone, whether they're still here on this earth or whether they have passed on. Because if you have kids, if you, like I opened up, we have a child here, 16 years old. And yes, you can still go through grief when somebody's on this earth. I work with clients who have loved ones who have Alzheimer's and dementia, stuff like that. They're still here, but they're no longer the person who they were. And they're grieving over that. You're losing that person every single day, even though you know that's not who they are. I guess I put it that way. It's hard to deal with. Let that journal be your therapist if you can't afford a therapist right now. So like I said, y'all, I'm Tonetta Clay, your social worker coach. Let me know in the comments, like I said, if you've dealt with something like this. And also let me know in the comments what other kind of topics you want to hear discussed. I put it that way. I've been through a lot, of course, professionally and personally, so I can probably talk on a lot of different things when it comes to life, mindset, all that kind of stuff. So like I said, let me know in different situations in life as well. So again, I'm Tonetta Clay. Take care, y'all. Have a good one. Peace out. And please make sure that you all are subscribing and sharing this out with somebody who needs this. Love you all. Peace out.